Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a powerful and, pretty counterintuitive meditation technique. It's for handling all those disturbances life throws at you, from the truly painful stuff to the things that are just, super annoying.
So let's kick things off with a question. We all face things we can't control, right? A snoring partner, that dog that won't stop barking, a painfully boring meeting, even physical pain. Our first instinct is always to fight back, to resist. But what if that resistance, what if that's the actual problem? And that's where this really fascinating idea from our source material comes in. It's called Amrita Dhyanam, or Amrita meditation. The core concept is simple, but it's also pretty radical. Instead of fighting the problem, you become one with it. You literally merge with your distraction.
Okay, so how does this actually work? I get it sounds kind of abstract, right? So let's break down the main principle here with a simple but I think really powerful analogy.
Imagine you're standing in a really fast-flowing river. Our natural instinct is to grab onto a big rock to stay stable. And yeah, you're safe, but you're constantly fighting the force of the water. This technique says to do the exact opposite. Let go of the rock, jump in, and become part of the river's flow.
Right, so that's the theory. But what does this look like in the real world? Let's get into some pretty incredible real-life examples of this whole principle in action taken straight from our source.
Just try to imagine this. This is how the speaker in our source described the pain of a scorpion sting he got. It's this all-consuming agony, a kind of pain that's basically impossible to ignore.
Now, his first instinct could have been to totally panic, right? To fight it, to try to make it go away, but instead he remembered this technique. He decided to just stop resisting and to merge his awareness completely with that burning sensation. He just decided to travel with the pain. And what happened next is just wild. At first, the pain was just a solid wall of feeling. But as he flowed with it, a tiny little gap appeared right in the middle. Then that gap started to get wider, splitting the pain in two. And then the pain on either side just vanished. It's like the sensation completely deconstructed itself from the inside out. And here's the kicker, the most unbelievable part of this story. This entire process, from that agonizing burning pain to total relief, took only 5 minutes.
And this wasn't just a one-off thing. A while later, he got a really bad viral fever. He described it as this fiery feeling throughout his body. And again, instead of fighting it, he just merged with that intense heat. And by the middle of the night, the fever was gone. So, okay. Scorpion stings, viral fevers, that's all pretty intense stuff. But the real power of this idea is how it can work for all the small, everyday annoyances. So let's look at how we can turn this into a practical tool you can actually use.
The key takeaway here is that you can apply this to almost any sensory input you don't want. That loud train rumbling by, become the sound. Don't like a certain food? Merge with the taste itself and see what happens. You can even do this while watching a movie. Merge with all the characters, the hero and the villain, to make the experience even deeper.
Okay, here's a really clever one. Picture this. You are stuck listening to the most boring speaker on the planet. The advice here is to stop fighting how bored you are. Instead, merge with the sound of their voice. Not the words, but the rhythm, the pitch, the tone. To everyone else in the room, you'll look incredibly engaged, but you've secretly turned a tedious chore into a meditation.
So you might be wondering, is this some kind of magic bullet? A cure for everything? Well, what I really appreciate about our source is how honest it is about the limitations here. In a moment of real honesty, he shares a story about a time it completely failed him. He developed a toothache, tried to do the exact same meditation, and this time, nothing. It just didn't work. The pain stayed.
And he points out that while it didn't work for his toothache, he later heard from someone who actually used this technique successfully on their own. So the lesson isn't that it fails, but that it's a powerful tool that works in many but not all situations.
So let's bring this all together. What is Amrita Dhyanam really? Well, it's not about making a sensation go away. It's about changing your relationship to it. By psychologically merging with the noise or the taste or the pain, you strip away its power to disturb you. You take out that disturbing factor.
And that leaves us with a final question for you. What current are you fighting against in your own life? What's the rock you're holding on to for dear life? And what do you think might happen if, just as an experiment, you decided to let go and join the flow?